Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to leave a like. It is a free and easy way to support the channel. We're actually having a sea day and it's actually really sunny outside, so it's I think the perfect opportunity to be able to have a little walk. It's actually really pretty. I'm trying to avoid the people who are going by. There's so many people in like bathing suits and all these other things, but it's actually super pretty. You can't even see yeah, you can see it. It's just water. Like, it's really, I love it personally. I actually found out that like it scares a lot of people to be on a boat and there's like nothing. You know, I can't show you the exact opposite side of the boat right now, but I find it absolutely beautiful when it's just like water completely surrounding. Like I said, a very nice day. I keep having, and I don't know, I know it's my algorithm. I always say otherwise or always think that it's something else. I know exactly what it is. I keep getting videos about like the state of the world and how people are living or how people aren't living and that kind of thing. Do you know that around 90% of people have no assets, have nothing? There's a very common misconception when you hear about it that you think that people have tons of assets because you are constantly, you're shown people who have money, you're shown people who have assets, you're shown people who have A, B, and C on the news or in some other way, where you hear that this person's a millionaire, this person's a billionaire. I spoke to you before about, I can't remember the word, that's so crazy. Like, it's not being desensitized, but it kind of is, where you assume that more people have because you keep hearing so much about it. So it's kind of like this idea, if you have been hearing about crypto for a while, or the market, you kind of get into this idea that everyone else has heard about it, everyone else is in the market, everyone else has money, like that kind of thing. I told you a couple of, this was 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I used to have this really weird thing where my mindset was that because I was so heavily into the market, it was all that I looked at. I started the channels, all my friends were also getting into the market as well, that my perception was that everyone else in the world also knew about this market. And of course they didn't. But I convinced myself that this was like the thing that was happening right now, that everyone else was knowing about. And it also like forced me to like get further into the market because I just assumed that everyone else was also doing the exact same thing. So it was a really good amount of FOMO in that level of capacity. But then you dig a bit further, and for those of you who missed the other video, this was a couple of months ago, we were talking about the actual numbers. Here we go. Talking about the amount of people in the world who actually own stocks and stuff like that. If you missed it at all, the number was, it's three companies. 3 companies in the United States own 88% of the stock market. 3 companies. Not 7, not 12, not 15, 3. And then we talked about in that same exact video, I said, you have to then think a little bit further and think of, well, what's the top 5 look like? What are the top 10 companies looking like? But there's this misconception because you keep hearing about the stock market in the news at this over level of abundance. So when you talk about people not owning assets, it kind of, no. First of all, it scares me. I don't know if it scares you. If it doesn't, you're a very brave person because the idea of having nothing is like absolutely terrifying. As I keep traveling around and I gain more exposure to other people and other things, and I notice what people have and what they don't, the amount of people who are without homes or like without any money, I have this thing, I guess this is more of a personal thing we're talking about. I constantly have this thing in my head where I think of like what went wrong or what could have went wrong, or like what didn't they pay attention to, from the idea of, once again, I'm just rambling, the idea of nobody wants to live on the streets. Nobody wants to like live rough. Nobody wants to not have any money. But at some point they just didn't pay attention or they didn't invest. But I mean, maybe they just didn't also know about it as well. So when I tell people over and over in this space that not only is Bitcoin rare and the other coins and this and that and so, I'm not, understand, while I am a content creator, I'm not doing this just to like make you feel good or make you think that you have to do A, B, and C. It's more of a, you need to understand that you actually have to do this because time is actually running out. This isn't a joke. We live in a world where these powerful companies own everything, and they're continuously buying more of everything, and they're going to own every single thing in the next 20 years. They're going to own all the homes, all the land, all the crypto, anything you can possibly think of. And when it comes down to people in this, I mean, we're not going to get into the topic of people not putting money into the market or investing at all when prices go down or when prices go sideways. That's something completely different. But to have absolutely nothing is absolutely terrifying, because you understand that as inflation continues, which it's going to, the people who have the assets are the ones who are going to continue making money because the valuations of the assets are going to continue rising. If you don't have the thing that's going to continue rising and you have none of it, you have no portion of it at all, you are going to lose. There is no other way around it. Nothing is going to save you but yourself. And that's not to sound hyper apocalyptic in any sort of way. Your pension's not going to save you. Your 401k is not going to save you. All these other things that governments have right now are running out of money. The funding for them is also going down. There's more people being born. More resources have to be spread a lot more thin. It's kind of like, I don't know how often you look at any other kind of international investment news or like retirement news. It's not a really big thing that a lot of people do. When you actually look into it and you realize that like pensions in most other countries are like $600, $700. The misconception that I had is that you sit there, you go, well, yeah, I mean, they have a much lower cost of living. And it's like, well, their rent is still $1,200. It's not $4,000. It's still $1,200. $600 is not going to get them very far. They also need food. They need insurance. I assume they want to go do stuff with their friends and hang out with other people. It's not just them like living this, the home or hut that they live in is $15. No, it costs far, far more than that. And so I'll tell you a weird story. I was trying to discuss with someone who was on the verge of retirement. They knew that I'm like into money and crypto. People conflate the two. People assume that because I'm into crypto, I can give them explicit investment advice. And I was trying to explain to them what they needed to do for their actual retirement that's coming up in 8, 9, 10 years or something like that. And I was explaining, put money away, put money into this retirement thing, because I can't tell them buy this coin, buy that, buy this ETF. It's too much for them because they've never been in this space before. And I'm trying to explain to them what they need, and they have to like really like jump on it right now. And even just buying like assets and stuff like that. And it just didn't click. They kind of didn't care. So I was asking them that same question. I was like, in the case of an emergency, do you have $1,000 if you like really, really needed it? And they said no, like there's no money that they have. They don't have anything to be able to like put aside. Like they were hoping that I could, how many times I keep meeting people who think that I have some kind of a magical formula that I can't say those words on here, kind of conjure from my behind and go, wait, actually, you have $14 in your savings account. If you move that money into this thing, you'll be able to make 135. From that 135, you'll be able to make 115,000. People think that like this is a thing. There's no longevity or long-term or like long-term thinking or like holding and buying something for these people. It's simply, I need help. Someone has to be able to help me. I've seen on Dave Ramsey or with these other things before that he can help these people who have problems, but a lot of times you don't understand these people have also been accumulating assets for a long time. So like a lot of times these people will already have homes. They already have other assets. They can be like, okay, I can reshuffle this around and kind of do something with it. If you're in your 50s and 60s and you have absolutely nothing, you're gonna have a terrible time in a couple of years for one or two reasons. Either A, you're gonna retire broke and have absolutely nothing. You're gonna wind up in some documentary, or it's getting windier, sorry. I mean, we're literally on the water, I can't help it. Or B, you're not going to be able to retire. You're gonna be 78, 80 years old, working in a Walmart somewhere, greeting people. I can't imagine, and I mean, mine took a lot of discipline. It took 10 to 15 years. I just met someone, I don't think they're watching, but hello. And I was explaining it to them. They were asking like how I got to where I am. Because I explained to them my early life. I was broke. I had nothing. Like we were poor. We were poor. Like scooping snow off the windowsill and putting Kool-Aid on it. Poor. Like that's what my like winters were like. And I was like, it took 10 to 15 years of like heavy discipline. I didn't buy stuff. I kept my money. I swapped it into other things. I put it into crypto. I put it into small studio apartments. And you know, this is the life that I currently have because it took 10 to 15 years. So they can't, if you can't conceptualize hunkering down for 10 to 15 years to make sure that the rest of your life is going to be amazing, of course you don't have $1,000 in the bank account. Of course you don't have anything saved. Of course the idea of slowing down and putting money into the stock market sounds terrifying to you. I was chatting with one person and I was telling them, I was like, okay, cool. You're relatively young. Start putting money away now. If you can manage an extra 300, 400, 500 per month, they told me they had a good paying job, extra 300, 400, 500 per month, and you put it into stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. You know, they didn't want to do anything too risky or crazy. I said, cool. You put it into that, and that money over the course of 10 to 15, you can, you know, spare that extra money. And they were like, I like going out. I like hanging out. I like doing stuff. So I said, okay, cool. You know, I gave you the advice that you wanted, that I thought that you needed, that you wanted to hear, but you didn't really want it because it doesn't match your current lifestyle. You don't actually want to make it. You want someone to tell you this magical answer of how to become extremely rich. This is always the problem with this market. I told you, every single cycle, every single time people get into this market and they think that they can make an obscene amount of money over the course of a 3-4 month period. If you've been here for a while, this father's trying to teach his daughter how to walk. I don't know if you can hear them. If you've been here over the course of multiple years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't make money overnight. You don't make money in a year. It takes you 2 to 3 years to actually like make something, to be like, okay, I'm in this market. It takes you a good 5, 6, 7 years to like really have made some exceptionally good money. Save as much as you can, invest as much as you can. Always do research. I don't care, and I'm telling you, I don't care if you are into stocks. If you, and I shudder to even say the word gold. If you are just investing in general, you're ahead of other people. And that's the most important thing. That's really the most important thing, but you have to do something. You gotta stop waiting, you gotta stop being on the sidelines. I was just talking with someone, and we were talking about getting into property, and they were like, yeah, but I heard the market might fall. And I sat there and I was like, remember in 2018 when you said the exact same thing? You said the same exact thing in 2012. Everyone has this problem where they keep thinking, well, they're waiting for like prices to go down lower, and I'm like, what are you don't actually want to do something. You want to have a story. You want to be able to tell people that you timed the market exactly perfectly. You saw the top, you sold, you took profit, you did, like everybody wants this like superhero kind of story, as opposed to just realizing these other people got rich because they saw an opportunity, they bought something, the price went down the next year, but the next 5 years the prices went up even higher. This is how they kept on making money. So you see these people who are 50, 60 years old who are millionaires, and you're like, I need my break. It's not a break. It's literally you doing the same thing consistently over and over and over for multiple years, and this is how you get it. You have to start now. Stop waiting for your stupid friend who also wants to get into the market. Do it today. Do it right now. Put money away. Start investing. Start saving. And it'll all pay off. It's just the way that things logically actually work out. Just a thought. Just throwing something out there, because every single time that this keeps happening over and over, and it's not even about our market going down, it's just in general, like no one wants to actually do anything. Everybody's just sitting on the sidelines constantly waiting for some magical answer for something to try and happen. This isn't how it works at all. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm trying to avoid all the people walking around the boat. There's so many things. There's like a sports thing up here, and there's like a jacuzzi area somewhere over here as well, and there's all this stuff down that way, and everyone's now on the side of the boat where all like the sun is actually happening. If you go to the other side of the boat, it's freezing. It's completely cold, but yeah, just wanted to go on for a little walk. Hope you've all enjoyed. I want everybody to make it, and it's not difficult. It's not difficult to make it. It's not some magical formula. You just have to do something. You just have to do anything. You have to do anything, and over the course of 10 to 15 years, you'll see the difference in what you did. It's just about acting. Just do something. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.